Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Jo here at SportsGrid. Happy Halloween as well. It's time for Pocket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV on X. We've got 7 games on the slate today, and we're going to jump right into these games. Hopefully, it's a good day out there on the ice. The New Jersey Devils and Jack Hughes came to life last night, but his other 2 brothers did not come to play, unable to scored a point in that one. So that hurt, you guys. We also saw a couple of solid games out there on the ice as we saw the Tampa Bay Lightning get a nice big win yesterday. The Winnipeg Jets did answer back versus Detroit, looking at that storyline there. And the Columbus Blue Jackets held the New York Islanders off the board. Yeah, Tampa won 5-2 over the Colorado Avalanche. Calgary was unable to answer the call on the money line, losing that one 5-1 to Utah. And the LA Kings came out and schooled the Vegas Golden Knights. Not what I expected, winning that one 6-3. I was alting those puck lines there because I did think Vegas was the right side. And then the New Jersey Devils winning 6-0. So some teams need a bounce back. We need a bounce back as well out here on the ice. We're going to kick off tonight with the Anaheim Ducks and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Looking at current odds on FanDuel, the Anaheim Ducks rolling in at plus 146 here on the money line and minus 176 for the Pens. Now that total sitting at 6.5, minus 118 to the under. I'm kind of shocked that we're getting the better value to the over in this one, as I do think this has to be a higher scoring game. We look here at the Pittsburgh Penguins and they have no problem on offense. The offense isn't fantastic, but this is a strong offense. They're able to average right around 3 goals and 31 shots on net. The power play converting at 22.2 or 22% of the time. It's their defense. This is a problem with the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's been giving them away all of these games. They've lost the last 6. Their defense is allowing 4.27 goals per game and 35.6 shots on net. You got to feel for the goaltender every single night in this. Now, Novakovic is expected. He's got a 3.93 goals against average and an 874 save percentage on the season. They do have a strong kill. Why can't they just play like they're trying to kill a penalty all the time out there and do better? Because that kill is 84.8%. Now, when we look at the Anaheim Ducks, they are coming in off the win. They have the better goaltender and the better defense, I think. Dosto has been winning them some of these games. He's 4-2-1 on the season with a 2.00 goals against average and a 943 save percentage. Never thought I would say that about Dosto. So Dosto has been stepping up. Novakovic, he's not getting support in front of him either. I'm going to take the Ducks team total over 2.5. That's coming in. It's juicy at minus 130, but I do think it's the right way to go. Look at Troy Terry as well. Troy Terry has been cashing for us for the Anaheim Ducks. He's got 5 goals and 8 points in total. Now, McTavish also is leading in assists with 5. So McTavish, someone to look at for the points tonight. Both of these teams, the defense would be the weakest part. The Anaheim Ducks haven't scored a lot of goals, but I do count on them here against a weak defense of the Pittsburgh Penguins to push us over that total. I trust the Ducks team total over 2.5 as well. So the over 6.5 at minus 104. The Ducks team total over 2.5 at minus 130. And then if you want to look at the Pens at home, you're going to have to play around with how to take the Pens at home. I don't love the 60-minute line even, just because I don't love the defense. So I'd be cautious tonight with the Pittsburgh Penguins. No big edge here between these teams when they face off. Let's look at the next one here, you guys. The St. Louis Blues are taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. Now the St. Louis Blues coming in here at plus 128 on that money line. Jake Neighbors is being straight. Oh, excuse me. My voice is going this morning. Jake Neighbors has been straight cash for us for those. Just give me 1 second, you guys. For those player props. So I would definitely be looking at Jake Neighbors tonight for the St. Louis Blues. And I think the Blues have every ability to pull off the win. Plus 128 here for the St. Louis Blues off a Philadelphia Flyers team that, yes, is of a win versus Boston. They were able to completely lock down the Bruins 2-0 in their last game out there on the ice. They do face Boston again on Saturday. So a little bit of a sandwich here. This game between the Bruins for the St. Louis Blues, for the Flyers facing the St. Louis Blues. You guys know what I mean. So I'd be cautious with this one, taking the Flyers if you do like them. Yes, they showed their defense can lock down one really strong team in the Boston Bruins, but I think the St. Louis Blues have a solid defense now. They need a bounce back, an absolute bounce back. They've lost their last two games. Binghamton's numbers are falling rapidly because of the amount of goals that have been given up in the last couple of games. He's 2-4 in the season with a 3.12 goals against average and an 895 save percentage. He should be at a 920 save percentage. That's what I'm expecting Binghamton to be over the next couple of weeks. They lost those last couple of games, Montreal and Ottawa, and it was defense and it was goaltending. The Blues need a bounce back, and I think they get this one here on their last road game. Jake Neighbors, top line, top power play. Yes, we're going to go back to him today for his points in this game, the anytime goal and the power play point. Urchin confirmed in net for the Flyers. He's 3-2-1 with a 2.99 goals against average and a 902 save percentage. I do trust the face-off here for the Flyers, but I think the Blues get it done. Let's move on to the Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Kraken are facing the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, the Toronto Maple Leafs are off that huge win versus the Winnipeg Jets. They won that one, and I tell you, that was a huge win for them. They're now minus 194 on the money line versus Seattle. Seattle's plus 160, total 6.5, minus 124 to the under 6.5. I'm going to take Seattle's team total over 2.5. That's coming in at minus 118. Joseph Woll is confirmed here in goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's 0-1 on the season. You guys remember we faded him versus the St. Louis Blues. He's got a 4.07 goals against average and an 846 save percentage. Now the Blues hit him hard in that one, and I think the Seattle Kraken was what we've seen. They came out so strong in their last game versus Montreal, able to put up 8 goals. While I do trust Toronto defensively more, this team has been trying to be that lockdown defensive team instead of a highly explosive offensive team. Both teams have strong kills, a weak power play here for the Leafs, and a stronger power play for the Seattle Kraken. So I'm expecting Seattle to convert on that power play. They're converting around 20%. So give me the Kraken's team total over 2.5 at minus 118. And give me Brandon Montour for the power play point tonight. His power play point coming in at plus 370. He's on that top power play line. He showed us he can convert. If you think he can get a goal tonight, he could get both on one play. Yes, he's a defenseman, but a defensive offenseman at plus 550 for the anytime goal. I like as well. Let's move on to Montreal. Montreal versus Washington. Lemieux expected here or confirmed here for the Montreal Canadiens. He's coming in at the Montreal Canadiens coming in at plus 172, and the Washington Capitals at minus 210. Total of 6.5 in this one. The juice to the under. Now the Washington Capitals coming off that big win versus the New York Rangers. Charlie Lindgren stood so phenomenally tall in that game with the Caps winning 5-2. 5-3. They also saw Ovi wake up in that game, able to get 2 goals. It was a beautiful sight to see for everyone who is chasing Ovi to get to Wayne Gretzky's and surpass his goal record. So I'm looking for Ovi to stay hot in this one, but I'd also be looking at Tom Wilson. He is leading this team in goals. Dylan Strome has been phenomenally strong as well. But when we look at the other side of things, the Montreal Canadiens, Kyle Caulfield, this kid is lighting the lamp each and every single night. It feels like Nick Suzuki is playing strong as well. I'm going to look at Kyle Caulfield for the anytime goal at plus 200. I'm going to look at Nick Suzuki for his points. And I do think between these two teams, with how the Washington Capitals are playing offensively, how Montreal can play offensively, we just keep it simple. We take the over at 6.5 at minus 102. I love betting the dogs, and I hate laying the puck line here with the Washington Capitals off that huge win. The puck line laying 1.5 coming in at plus 120. They're giving us more value, but Montreal is a scrappy team that never says die. This will be a live betting opportunity. If the Washington Capitals go up 2-0 in that first period and we're able to come back in on the Montreal Canadiens plus 2.5 with some good value there, then that's the way I will be going in this game, because I do think at the end of the day, while the Washington Capitals could come out and lock down Montreal defensively, I expect more of an open offense style game between these two, especially with the Caps off that win. Could this be a kind of trap game for them, and could Montreal come out and pull out the win? With Bernier starting, I'm not sure I can back Montreal in this one, but their offense will give it their all, you guys. Happy Thursday. 2-4 last night with the parlay. Yeah, the parlays were hard yesterday. Doing good, Adam. Thank you. So let's get back to these games. You guys, we've got 3 more left to go over. The next game, the Boston Bruins taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. 2 strong defensive teams here, and we got a total of 5.5. The juice to the over at -140. I can't take this one over. I expect the lockdown defense. When these teams meet up, they grind these games out, and they look for each other to make those mistakes and try to capitalize on them. Neither team makes a lot of mistakes. So you got Boston that was held to a shutout versus the Philadelphia Flyers in their last game out. They're going to be looking to come out nice and strong in this one. And we got the Carolina Hurricanes at home. This team can limit the opponent's ability to get those shots on goal and really lock down on the defensive side of things. So the under 5.5 at +114 is where I'm going to go. Swayman expected here for Boston. And now we won't see Freddie Anderson for what I'm seeing. Freddie Anderson did tweak himself in that last game out. Krochekov should be between the pipes tonight. Look for the lockdown defense. The Canes have been rolling hot. They've won their last 4. Again, Boston off that loss to the Flyers. Elias Lindholm was actually drafted by the Carolina Hurricanes. So if you want to look at a goal scorer here for Boston, it's always interesting to look at those storylines. So Elias Lindholm for the anytime goal at +380 here for the Boston Bruins center. We have yet to see him really play like I'm expecting. And we know Elias Lindholm, originally from Calgary, shuffled around to Vancouver, now to Boston. He has that ability to score those goals. So home off a long road trip here for the Carolina Hurricanes. This is normally a fade spot. They've won, or they played 6 games on the road. I can't still fade them with how this defense comes out to play. They hold opponents to 25.9 shots on goal. They've got an elite kill, 86.7% of the time. And Boston has the Flyers back on deck on Saturday. They won't look past the Carolina Hurricanes, though. So neither of these teams will look past each other. Look for that defensive battle. It's scary to take it under 5.5, but I think this is a 3-2 win. Either way, Sebastian Aho continues to really impress us on the power play, on the top line for the Carolina Hurricanes. So that's who I would be looking at for points. If you want to look at points tonight, I'd be cautious of the goal scorers. But Elias Lindholm, those points you could look at instead of his anytime goal. That anytime goal just at +380 is so attractive. The Edmonton Oilers versus the Nashville Predators. 2 games left, you guys. The Oilers coming in at +105. You're saying, why the heck are the Oilers only at +105? Underdog without Connor McDavid. I'm saying the same. Yes, the Nashville Predators have had their struggles on the season. They started off so slow. They're -126 on the money line, and sign me up all day. The puck line laying 1.5 at +186. I will hit for the Preds as well. We look here at the Edmonton Oilers without Connor McDavid. They lack depth, and they're not a great team, you guys. They don't have a good power play. They're not scaring anyone away, right? Defensively, they're not great. Pickard in net tonight. Now, the last time Connor McDavid went out last season, they only won 1 of 6 games without Connor McDavid, and I'm not trusting this team. We need to see Zach Hyman step up. He's got 1 point on the season. This is a player that had 50 goals last season, yet to do anything out there on the ice this season. He's being completely invisible. One player, though, to look at for Edmonton, if anyone is going to pull this team to a win, it's going to be Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl, we know he just turned 29 before that last game that the Edmonton Oilers lost, I believe, Columbus Blue Jackets, the day before. He turned 29. He got the birthday goal for us in that game. And then coming into this one, his record versus Nashville Predators, this is a team that he's able to get the points, get the goals on. So I'm looking at Leon Draisaitl Seidel, you can look at him for 2+ goals over on FanDuel. It's right around plus 900. I would look at that. I'd look at him for the goal as well. He's going to be the only playmaker, I think, on Edmonton that really steps up tonight in Connor McDavid's absence. Now, looking at the Predators, I do think they can get this win. I think they can get the win on that puck line as well. Nashville started off rough, and they're only 2-4 at home. I expect that to be 3-4 after tonight. They started the season off 0-5. And since they were able to turn things around, they've gone 3-1. So they have been stronger. It's just taken a while. Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault added into this forward unit. It's taken a while for the chemistry to start to connect for these playmakers. So I'm looking for that chemistry to connect tonight against a mediocre defense here for the Edmonton Oilers. So it should be a good game here. If you want to look at anything else, I take the over 6.5 because I think the Predators can score that many goals themselves. Not that many goals, 4 goals themselves against Pickard. Let's just look here at one thing, because if that puck line covers and we don't go over, the Pittsburgh Penguins team total over 3.5 at -110. I like that bet. I think it's a really solid bet looking at them to be able to put those points on the board. Okay, last but not least, the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the San Jose Sharks. If the books are crazy enough to give us the Sharks again on the money line as a home dog at plus 126, I'm going to take it, you guys. We've been able to see the Sharks play really strong. They got the win over the Kings, and they got the win in their game prior, which was their first win of the season. We rode them for the last 2 wins. We're not taking off tonight. We're going to take the Sharks, or at least I am, at plus 126 here on the money line. The Chicago Blackhawks are coming in at -152. Who wants to lay juice on the Chicago Blackhawks on the road? Yes, they have Connor Bedard, but we have Tyler Toffoli, Will Smith. We have playmakers on the Sharks, and I think they can get this done. Rolling hot here at home. That total sitting at 6.5. I would take it to the over at plus 110. Even though we have seen struggles out of both of these teams offensively, I do think this is a higher scoring game. Peter Mrazek in goal for the Chicago Blackhawks, and Blackwood in here for the San Jose Sharks. Tyler Toffoli for the anytime goal. Will Smith is yet to get on the board, but I think the value on Will Smith to get the goal tonight at plus 380 is worth a shot here for the San Jose Sharks. I think Connor Bedard to find the back of the net. We're not getting enough. Well, we're not getting much value at plus 170, but I do think he can find the back of the net tonight. I just want to look at a couple of other goal scorers for you guys. We have Tyler Bertuzzi at plus 240 for the Chicago Blackhawks, and Teravainen plus 220. Between the two of them, I would take Teravainen at plus 220 before I looked at Bertuzzi, but Bertuzzi has every opportunity as well. Yeah, Will Smith still holding solid at plus 380 for the anytime goal. Tyler Toffoli at plus 190. Those are both for the San Jose Sharks, you guys, as well as Goodrow. Goodrow is an interesting one. Goodrow, you're going to get tons of value at plus 470. I think this is a back and forth goal fest. I'd look at the over 1.5 as well. So you guys, all the best in all of your bets today. Sorry for a shorter show. My throat is killing me today. I need to drink some hot water. And honey, I've been talking too much, which I'm sure my whole household would agree that I've been talking too much as of late. They're going crazy. You guys, all the best in all of your bets. Thanks for joining me over here on SportsGrid TV for Pocket with Jo. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that retweet button, and you can follow me on X at Jo Madden Sports. Thanks, guys. All the best in your bets. Make some freaking money.